Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 3 of Project Architect. I'm standing here in front of Starfleet Command because today we are going to up our replicator game. That's right, we're going to build something that's going to allow us to have almost unlimited EMC to create whatever we want, So let's get into it. So as you can see, I did a little bit of work on this off camera here just to get the ceiling taken care of and a few other things. Oh, by the way, if I sound sick, I'm not. I have allergies like you wouldn't believe. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's in the air, but it's pretty bad. So if I sound a little bit like this during this episode, that'd be why. So upstairs here, didn't really have a whole lot of room to do anything, so I decided just to make some of these terminals, which are awesome, because you can basically make like search screens. We've got Federation Archives over here, some more waiting areas. We've attached everything to the roof here, some bushes, and yeah, I think this actually turned out pretty well. Now, the picture, I don't know what the picture's of, but I just needed something there, so I put in a painting. And these over here, these paintings are actually in front of a little elevator system. So if you go over here, you go up, there we go, into the next floor. As you can see, I've got a few things up here, but mostly it's just an empty shell at this point. But I do have sort of an example of how things are going to look up here once I'm all said and done. Like, there's going to be a bar over here. There's our tables with our chairs with our lights on it. We've got a replicator off on the side. We've got our enchanting area over here that's mostly just a sort of a bookstore, and these books are great because they actually function as a bookshelf, but they don't look like a bookshelf. But we've added in, some different kinds of bookshelves over here. If you notice, we've actually got the warped and crimson variants of bookshelves that you can actually put books in. So I just got regular books in there right now. Obviously, we can put in enchanted books if we want, which I probably will at some point. But they just look cool. And the same thing with like the spruce bookshelves and the normal ones mixed in here as well. So I'm really happy with this. But that's not what we're here to do today. We're here to actually go into this area, which these frames are great for making like archways and things. And of course, we've got the red fixtures. And in here, we've got sort of an open area. This is where I was going to put like Starfleet Command meeting rooms and stuff. But I've got a better idea for something we're going to put in here today. But before we get to that, I wanted to actually mention something that I had mentioned back, I believe, in episode 1, where we were talking about trinkets. So I went through and looking just to see what the trinkets were, and I actually have remapped the trinkets to my page down button. So this brings up the trinkets area. So if you notice when you're going through the pack that you just occasionally will bring up trinkets, like you'll be mining, you'll be chopping down wood, you'll be killing mobs, whatever it happens to be, and it'll open up different trinkets based on what you're doing. So the page down key actually, for me anyway, I remapped it. I think it's R is what it's standard at, but I remapped it page down because R is being used for other things. So this will bring up the trinkets page. Now when you first start, you only have one trinket slot, and then you can open more. Now if you noticed, I've actually opened 2 more trinket slots. I'm saving my levels for some enchanting, but I wanted to show you exactly what the trinkets are that I've got. So if you go over here, oops, I just opened another trinket page. Spending level. Whoopsie. So these are all my available trinkets that I don't have active at this point. So, and they kind of vary from common to uncommon to rare to elite to other things. These are the 3 that I have active because this one's just dumb. Slowly repair equipped armor. So basically it gives you mending, but without using experience, which is ridiculous, and it's epic. So you may not ever see this one. There's also a mossy ring that I want to get, which actually repairs your equipped items. So if you have, if you need to repair your pickaxe and your sword, you put them both in both hands, it'll repair it. Luck coin gives you luck 2, which is awesome for loot and everything. And then this one, karma, you receive discounts from villager trades. And when it says discounts, it just doesn't mean discounts. It means ridiculous discounts, like 1 diamond one emerald for an enchanted book, or it gives you basically like the zombified max trades. Like you can trade 1 pumpkin for an emerald. it's pretty dumb, and it's really handy, especially when you're trying to grind out some experience to do things like enchanting. So trinkets, incredibly powerful. Definitely should use them, especially if you get some of the epic or rare trinkets. Now that we've gone over all of that, what are we doing today? Well, we're doing a couple of different things, but first and foremost, we need to get a stable source of automatic EMC, because while trading with villagers will give you tons of emeralds that you can turn into EMC and have, like I think I've got some, 5.17 million right now just from doing a lot of trading. It's very manual. But there is an automatic way to get EMC throughout Project E. And that is through these up here. So this is going to be a little bit, now, if you've seen Chosen Architect's videos on this, he actually sort of went through this as well. But for those of you who've never actually used this mod, this is going to seem a little strange. But you can actually create what are called power flowers in Project E that will effectively create stuff out of thin air that you can then turn around and use as EMC. And the way you do that is primarily through these three particular items here: the energy condenser, the energy collector, and the alchemical chest. Now, the energy condenser, what does it do? Well, it condenses energy. I know that sounds really dumb. but it does. So what it actually does is it will allow you to duplicate an item or to create an item out of thin air that you can then turn around and feed into your machine to create EMC. So let's go ahead and actually pull one out, because I went ahead and created all of these things in the background. Can I just do project? No, I can't. Darn. All right, so energy condenser. So here's our energy condenser. It costs 42,000 EMC. Not terrible, right? Pretty reasonable. And then you can take said energy condenser and put it somewhere. So we are going to take it upstairs, and we're going to put it in our power generation room, I guess is what you'd call this. The energy condensers, you may notice, takes a bunch of different things. It takes obsidian, it takes diamonds, and it takes this alchemical chest. The alchemical chest is basically just a big chest. That's really all there is to it. It's just, I think it's a double chest in one block, which is nice. But its big main use is to create the rest of this stuff over here. To create the alchemical chest, you need to have iron, you need to have regular chests, some granite, a diamond, well, any stone really, a diamond, and then these three things, these dusts. Now, the dusts look, I mean, that sounds daunting, but honestly, like low convalescence dust is charcoal and cobblestone. It's pretty easy to make a bunch of it, and then you can feed it to the machine, which is nice. To make the rest of this stuff, so the medium convalescence dust is iron and redstone. Once again, feed it to the machine, done. The big one is the high convalescence dust, because it takes coal and a diamond. But at this point, you should have the ability to just replicate these two things to create high convalescence dust. So that in and of itself isn't all that difficult. But let's go ahead and go in here, because what we're going to do is we're going to do basically an inverted power flower up here, just so it looks cool. I mean, that's the entire reason that we're doing this here. All right, so now that we have our energy condenser up here, and we've got it moving into what is basically this is a Project Architect edition. This is a EMC Link Mark II, so it basically can do 4 items per second into your EMC. Now, I don't know if you need to actually have a pipe that goes into the table itself. I don't think you do, but I'm putting that there just in case. So basically what's going to happen is the energy condenser is going to condense energy. Imagine that. And while it's condensing energy, it is going to be creating EMC, and as soon as it has enough EMC to create any item that you want to put in here, it will create it, it'll go down here, and in theory, it's going to move up into the link and basically get fed directly into my system. So it'll take whatever item's being created with EMC, turn it back into EMC, and put it into our system. So as you can tell, this thing isn't really working right now. Well, why is that? It needs light to be able to work. So as soon as the sun comes up, this thing should start actually creating that, and we're going to be having it create dark matter, which has 139,000 EMC per item. So it's a really good one. You can also pick diamonds or emeralds or something like that if you wanted to make this a little bit faster. But the thing is, we're going to make it plenty fast in just a second here. So, well, now that we've got that, we need to actually grab our energy collectors. Now, I believe I had made, yes, I'd made up to the Mark IIIs. The Mark IIIs are really spendy, and we need 4 of them. So that's 2.8 million EMC to create 4 of these, because we basically need to put it on each side of the energy condenser that is not feeding into the link. So 1, 2, 3, and now we're out of EMC. They're really, really spendy, but they're really, really worth it. So notice we're going to go over here. We're going to put energy condenser on this side. We're going to put energy condenser on this side. We're going to put, actually we need 5. Energy condenser on the bottom. And now you can see it is actually starting to build up EMC using these Mark III energy collectors. So as it builds, it will basically create this much EMC to create this item to then feed it into the system, in theory. This part I've done before. This is brand new. This is something that Chosen came up with as a way to more easily get EMC into the system. Like I said, I don't know if we need that up there or not. I'm going to leave it there for the moment, though, just to see. But we need to go get some EMC so we can make 2 more of these bad boys, and then we'll show you what the true power flower looks like, because there's a step beyond this. And it's interesting looking. So let me go get some more EMC real fast, and we'll go from there. Hey, have I got something on my head? If you're wondering, this is the inverted stirrups. It basically allows you to pick up mobs and entities and take them places. And as you can see, I've got a villager standing on my head. And we're going to take him back to the base, because I'm tired of coming over here to trade with villagers. So, yeah, the problem is this is my view in first person, so we've kind of got to do it like this, and it's a little rough. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and carry this guy back. You can move at full speed, which is nice. So it's not like, you know, when you're carrying a chest with a chest transporter or anything like that. You can still move at full speed. It just looks completely and utterly mad. So, yep, give me a second. I'm going to take a couple of these guys back, and then we're going to get some more EMC and get back to what we were doing. All right, so you can see we've gotten some EMC. We've gotten a couple more villagers over there. And now we have the beginnings of our power flower. So we've got 5 of the, what are they called again? The not energy condensers, the Mark III. Oh, why am I spacing what they're called? These energy collector Mark III. So this is now creating 40 EMC per second, and effectively just sending it directly over to the energy condenser to make more of the whatever thing that we want to make. As you can see in this particular case, it's now going pretty quickly, and it's creating and still creating dark matter. So you can see up in the corner there, even after creating 2 of these and doing some trading, this is working. So I still don't know if we need that going into the table itself, or if this is a link to the table, but I'm going to leave it there just to be on the safe side. Now that we've got all of this, what do we do next? Well, notice I've got some glowstone in my hand. So what we can do to speed this up even more, and to make sure that it works not only during the daytime when the sun's out, but also at night, is we can surround this with glowstone, which is what we are going to do. So basically, glowstone goes on every side of these things. So there. I've just boxed myself in. That was smart. We'll get the other side in just a second. So we go, woo. Let's get up here, because I don't think... yes. So that's... This also has other uses, but this is the main... Honestly, the main use of this thing. So we put a glowstone there. We put a glowstone there. We go down here. We put a glowstone here. Can I get around this corner? Let's find out. We put a glowstone there. And we put a glowstone there. So that's effectively how this thing's going to look when we're all done with it. It's going to be this big, massive looking thing up here. I've boxed myself in again, haven't I? That's real intelligent by me. So let's just get some of the scaffolding out of the way here and do it like... yeah, there we go. I love scaffolding to death. It's really handy, especially when you're talking about things like this. But getting it so that you can actually do this is really difficult. So then we just go ahead and put a glowstone on every side. So we need some over there. Glowstone over here. Doink, just like that. So, and then we just go ahead and surround the rest of this in glowstone as well. So there. And there is our power flower. That is what it looks like when you are done. which is pretty cool. So let's just go down here and we can check and see. I don't think it really speeds it up all that much. No, we need to actually break one of these to get in here to see how fast it's actually moving. It doesn't really speed it up all that much, but it makes it so that it works both in daytime and nighttime. Because the thing is that these are reliant on sunlight. They're basically solar panels for all intents and purposes. But if you surround them in glowstone, they will work all the time, and they'll work with maximum efficiency. So as you can see, the maximum efficiency, I mean, it isn't that maximum. Honestly, this is about as fast as it goes. But what you can do is you can replace this with an energy condenser Mark II. But that takes 9 million EMC to create. So this may take a while. It's going to take a while to actually build that up. I might switch this over to like emeralds or something because that'll get EMC into the system faster. And then we'll go to dark matter later. In fact, let's go ahead and do that right now. And to swap something out is just as simple as doing that. And then do that. And as you can see, it creates it. It gets imported into here. Ta-da, done. And like I said, I don't know if we need this, but I want to keep it here just to be on the safe side. So as soon as we have built up some more EMC, as you can see up in the top left-hand corner there, that number should start going up pretty quickly because each one of these is 16,000 EMC. We could totally do diamonds if we wanted to do that because diamonds are only about, I think, 8,000 EMC. But we don't need this to be, super whoopty right away. What we could do is we could do a second power flower over here next to this one, or we could, you can make as many of these as you want. You could have 10 of them running simultaneously if you wanted to. Just to let you know though, at some point your EMC storage capability will cap out. I think it's at like 16 billion or something ridiculous like that. So it's not a little bit. So it's going to cap out at some point, but it'll take a while. So see, we're up to 774,000. This is creating another one there. So yeah, perfect. All right. And then as soon as we have enough EMC built up, we can come back here and replace this with the Mark II chest, which is, notice this one's 42,000. So it doesn't go that quickly. But the Mark II chest basically gets EMC about 3 to 4 times faster. So at that point, we can do things like dark matter, and it'll just import that into the system. But right now, it's importing emeralds, and that's plenty good enough for the moment. So let's go ahead and replace this glowstone, and we have a power flower. So now we have an automated way of getting EMC. Ow, my knees. We have an automated way of getting EMC, which also looks pretty cool. It's a little smaller than I remember, honestly. It isn't as big as I remember it. But if nothing else, now we can actually put stuff in this room down here and then have that as sort of like decoration. So it's decoration and it's functional, which is kind of nice. It's very rare that you actually have something that both is decorative, that looks good, and is functional at the same time. So, and as you can see, I've moved in a couple more villagers up here because I want to. Where'd they all go? Guys, what are you doing? Are you having a meeting over here? You're having a meeting over here, aren't you? Yep. They're talking about me. But we're gonna change this up. Hi. I've got to get. I've got a farm outside that's just growing strawberries, tomatoes, barley, and something else. I think onions for trading with the other farmer that's over there because they have weird trades. It's not something simple like carrots and potatoes. Nope, it has to be something weird like these crops here. So yeah, we've got tomatoes, strawberries, radishes. That's right, radishes and barley. Which we should probably just go ahead and harvest this and go talk to that other guy and get that taken care of. Because the thing is that in this particular pack, farmers can have trades of just about anything. They can trade anything that is a crop that you have access to in the pack, which means that you've got people who want weird stuff like strawberry and rhubarb and beets and barley and corn and all that stuff. And I just happened to get two guys that I reset them a couple of times. And they keep coming up with strange trades. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just make a farm and we'll trade with them that way. So I'm going to go trade with this guy. Maybe drag him over as well. He can be the bartender. He and the other guy can be the bartender. We'll make one of them Guinan, and we'll make one of them, bartender or Quark. That's right. We can make them Quark. So we'll have Guinan and Quark as our bartenders. Because I'm a giant nerd. Why are you carrying Dude, are you eating their houses? What's wrong with you? Here, take this. Come here. Come here. Come here. Have this. It's better. All right, fine. Speaking of better, you may notice that I am eating some strange-looking food. Well, this is honey apples. Look at this ridiculousness. So it gives you back 8 hunger shanks and 20 saturation for honey apple. And the way you make it is just stupidly simple. So if we go in here, if I can type, honey apple. Here you go. No, that's honeyed apple. Honey apple. It's a honey block and an apple makes a honey apple. And it's EMCable. It is fabulous food. And so we're just eating candied apples like we're going out of style. We gained like 300 pounds. It's great. The easiest way to get a hold of these, by the way, is yes, you're the florist. Get one of these guys, level him up. One of their trades will be honey bottles. Get 4 honey bottles, make honey block, EMC it. Get an apple, EMC that. Ta-da, honeyed apples. They're even better than golden apples, which is kind of ridiculous. And they're EMCable, which is nice. Golden apples are also EMCable, but they have like 40,000 EMC, whereas these are 128 a pop. So a stack of them runs you, what was it? A whole stack would run you, let's see, math, like 6,400 and change, like 8,000 EMC. So, I mean, not a lot. So 8,000 EMC gives you a stack of these honeyed apples, and they are amazing food. Most of the food in the pack, by the way, not EMCable. Like standard foods. Oh, what have I done? Press that button again. Standard foods like steak, mutton, potatoes, carrots, that kind of stuff. Those are all EMCable, but those aren't great food sources. Like steak is not bad. Steak is pretty good. But the honeyed apples are the best EMCable food in the pack that I have found yet. Hello, cow. I don't have to slaughter you anymore because I already have leather and beef in my machine. So, yeah, get your hands on one of these guys, one of these florists, level them up. So, see, this is the one that I've kind of sort of leveled up. Honey bottles, he gives you poppies, daisies, honeycomb, emeralds for vines and lily pads. I need to finish leveling him up, actually, just to get the rest of his trades to see what else he does. But we might actually end up taking him back to Starfleet Command and have him, like, run a store or something. Yeah, honeyed apples, amazing. Amazing things. And now for something completely different, now that we have a very reliable source of EMC that's automatic, at least, and we've got some of the farmers and other villagers in our base so we can actually trade with them more readily, we actually have a couple of fairly good sources of EMC. One manual, one automatic. So with this, what do we do? Well, I mean, other than just being able to create blocks to build things with, like this, you can also create specialized things such as this right here. This is the Harvest Goddess Band. Now, this is also from Project E, so if you go ahead and just type in, go over here, type in Project E, projects, there we go. You'll have a whole bunch of different things that you can create. I mean, you can create, some of the stuff in here I haven't played with at all, like the Nova Catalyst or the Nova Cataclysm. That just doesn't sound good. But some of the things that you can actually do in here. So if we just type in Project E, you'll see all of these different rings and trinkets and things that we can create. So we can create this, which is called the Gem of Eternal Destiny, which condenses items on the go. You can basically just condense all different items into different things. You've got these amulets to allow you to fire projectiles. I might make this one because we need a phaser. Watch a flowing time. It basically speeds up things just in general. Black hole band, suck in nearby item drops, dumps in station inventories. That's really cool. Fires arrows at nearby mobs, triggers every 2 seconds. This can be great or this can be terrible. Then you've got the ignition ring where things set thing on fire, the zero ring. This one in particular is the Harvest Goddess Band. So it accelerates growth of nearby crops, harvests nearby grown crops, activates every half second. And I've made one. Now I want to show you the ridiculousness of this. So we've got my little patch out here of nothing but strawberries and tomatoes, right? I've got this in my hotbar, so I'm just going to put it in my inventory for a second. And now notice, since it's in my inventory, all these just get harvested, and then they'll just grow back normal speed. So, fairly standard kind of stuff. However, if we put this in our hotbar, this is what happens. It just, everything grows about 8 times faster than normal. And we can just go ahead and go harvest all this stuff. And this is what I'm trading with that farmer to get his trades up, by the way. are strawberries and tomatoes. So I just planted a bunch of them. Unfortunately, we lost our barley and radish guy. He probably wandered into a cave or something over there. But we can just sit here and do this like all day if we want to. Now, if you're playing a Project E based pack that has mystical agriculture in it, this becomes really dumb really fast, because now you're harvesting Inferium and Supremium and all the other Imiums and just in droves. Now, the fun part of this is, yes, this works in my hotbar, not in my inventory, but only in my hotbar. So you can't like put it in a backpack and have it function. But you can also make a pedestal to put this on, which I'm going to do at some point, because not only will it then auto harvest all of this for me, but it will store it as well, which is really nice. And we can basically have it feed it all into, just a standard pipe. We can send it over into a chest, or we can put it in, we can take all the seeds and put those, into the machine, because the seeds actually have an EMC value. We can do a bunch of different stuff with this. But for right now, I just want to get enough to be able to level up this stupid farmer. And then at that point, we can determine if there's other stuff that we want to grow. Because honestly, like food crops, once we have the honey apples, or you have access to steak or something, you really don't need food crops. At this point, we're just doing it for the trades. So let's go ahead and take that out of our hotbar, because it's just kind of ridiculous. And it has no durability or anything either. You can use this thing infinitely, which is pretty awesome. But like I said, it's of limited use, because you do have access to so many like really good food sources. So we can just go ahead and feed all those seeds back into the machine. And then we got about 16,000 EMC out of it. So, I mean, that's not terrible. So it's good. Like if you have access to this, though, you really don't need 15 or 16,000 EMC. You need tons upon tons of EMC. But now we've got all this, so we can just go ahead and trade with this guy and get him finally leveled up. Aha! Frost melon and melons. There we go. That's at least we got a melon trade now. So that's good. So let's go ahead and just feed the corn seeds into the machine. Oh, I guess I have corn. Okay, never mind. Feed the emeralds into the machine. So now I have 3.3. The pedestal, by the way, if you go look over here, Project E, no. If you go look at this pedestal, 4.6 million EMC for this particular pedestal, because it's using red matter and dark matter blocks to make the pedestal. Now, I've already made dark matter and dark matter blocks, and I've made red matters to get it fed into the machine over here. Red matter costs 400,000 a pop, so 4 of those, 2 million and change, and then the dark matter blocks are 500,000. So, I mean, there's a reason it's as spendy as it is. Let's go. Do we have melon seeds? I think we have melon seeds. Hang on, let me look in here. Melon. Oh, we don't have melon seeds. Oh no. Crap. I thought we had melon seeds. We have to go. Do we seriously have to go on an adventure for melon seeds? I think we do. Maybe not in this episode, but we will at some point. So, but I mean, I can just level them up with this out here. I can go get, stacks upon stacks of strawberries and tomatoes, level them up that way. So, all right. So that's one of the things you can do in Project 8. And of course, the rings and amulets are like, I want that. Where's the fire amulet? Because that is, we need a phaser, We need this. We need this Vulcanite amulet. Press R to fire a lava projectile. Acts as infinitely full lava bucket, which is cool. Right-click to fill tanks. All operations cost 32 EMC. On a pedestal, it prevents rain and snowstorms and attempts to stop weather every 1 second. So if you're having issues that you're in a snowy biome and it's irritating you, you can do that. So that sounds angry. So what do we need for this? We need 6 lava buckets and 3 dark matter. That's it. So we can totally do that right now. So if we go over to lava, we need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lava buckets and 3 dark matter. 1, 2, 3. And now we just go over here into this portable crafting table. Vulcanite amulet. Nice. And we'll just go ahead and put the buckets back into the machine. Perfect. So now this goes into the necklace slot. So let's see how terrifyingly dangerous this is. Well, I couldn't seem to get the amulet to work, but we managed to make a couple of achievements while we were out here fighting some stuff. I apparently killed an apotheosis boss. So find an item with an apotheotic affix. find an uncommon affix item, and slay an apotheotic boss and retrieve their affix item. So it was Tessa the Crying, who was a skeleton thing, and I'm covered in arrows. But apparently, she dropped all this stuff. So the shield has Thorns 2, Reflective Defenses, Phalanx, Magnet, and Tombstone Soulbound, which is just ridiculous. And then we've got a diamond helmet. We've got some leggings with occult aversion on them, and Tessa's Gemstone Shoes of Tenacity, which has Magic Protection 7, Multi-Jump 9, and Stable Footing, which is an uncommon item. These are just whatever. This is really cool. I mean, all it needs is mending on it, and it's going to be amazing. We can fix it up, actually. I've got an anvil we can fix that up with. But I am really curious as to how good these shoes are. Ooh. Well, that's cool, because it gives me an extra 4 hearts. Wow. Okay. Let's eat a honey apple here, because, yeah, it gives me extra health. Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding? I can multi-jump 9. Wow. So what does that mean? So double jump, triple jump, quadruple jump, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. I can jump in the air 9 times. Even out of the water. Are you kidding? Ow, I need feather falling. But these boots are just stupid good. I mean, look how fast I'm moving. Ow. Okay. These boots may end up killing me. But if we put a couple of things on them, they'll be just astounding. So let's go ahead and put all this stuff into the machine, because we don't need that. I've got Feather Falling 4 on my boots that I enchanted. We can just combine those. And the occult aversion, I'm not that worried about. Let's put that in there and that in there, and extra arrows in there. So we can repair our shield, this shield, with another shield. I think I can. Let me just pull out an anvil. I think I have an anvil in here. I don't have an anvil in here. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3. There we go. We can make ourselves an anvil and then feed it to the machine. So her Gemstone Shoes of Tenacity, plus my diamond boots with feather falling, we now have... I mean, they're super boots to start with, but now they're even more ridiculous. So now I have feather falling on them, which means I can jump all that way and not die, which is good. While we're here, let's go ahead and repair up this shield with our own shield. And that should give us, I mean, it's not great, but it's better than what it was. So we now have an enchanted shield, which is just astounding, with all of this stuff on it. Magnet, Phalanx, Reflective Defense, Thorns. I mean, that's pretty baller. That is pretty baller. So we'll put our anvil back in. It's learned it. Yay, good. Oh, jeez. Gotta be careful with jumping. I mean, the jump is worth it in and of itself, but... wow, that's totally gonna kill me if I'm not careful. All right. So I can't get the volcanic amulet to work, which means we don't have a phaser just yet. But we do have some amazing boots and some pretty good armor just in general, since I did a little bit of enchanting, and it's not great, but it's pretty good. I mean, and it's shiny blue, which is always nice. So, but that is where we're going to end it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope the bit with the power flower up there was a little bit helpful for you if you have been wondering how to go about doing that. We might install a couple more of those once we get some EMC built up. And because each one costs probably right around 4 million EMC to fix everything and hook it all up together. So, but I do hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was helpful for you if you're having issues with it. I hope you enjoyed our little sojourn into a couple of the other things that you can do in Project E, as well as a little bit of sort of ancillary stuff that we did as far as moving over villagers and trying to get certain things to work that just don't seem to be wanting to work. But I'll try and work on that in between episodes. Please feel free to leave a like and subscribe on the way out the door if you have not already. But once again, I do this for fun. I do this for entertainment. I do this because I enjoy doing it, so don't ever feel like you have to do anything you don't want to do when you come here other than just watch the video and have a good time. But I do always appreciate likes, comments, and subscriptions to the channel. So we just hit 500 recently. We're on our way to 1,000. That's going to be amazing. So, but I do hope you had a good time. I hope you had fun. Remember, whatever you do tonight, make sure you go out, play some games, have some fun. I'll see you all again real soon. Have a good night, everybody.